at stake, and both of us discovered this in our research, that some countries were talking about other countries saying that like the Korean fighters are super strong and a double G champ is feared and things of that nature. So we've got a little running tally, and it's been a good morning for the Chinese fighters. I think they're 2-1 now, and also the South Koreans, they've gone 2-0. So whatever they're doing in those countries. But the Zombie travels to the US for his fight camps as well, but clearly has a massive footprint back here in what he's doing with his coaching to now produce the next round of fighters from this region as well.
And it takes a certain level of selflessness to be an active fighter and a very active coach as well, because the reality is you can't focus on yourself and focus on all your students at the same time. And what I saw tonight was the Korean Zombie is really pouring himself into each and every one of these athletes, allowing them to walk out to his song.
Yeah,
I mean, that was really special, honestly. I wonder if he had, I'm sure he had to ask permission, but really cool to see not just them do well, but see his fingerprints in their style, in the way that they fight, kind of willing to take one to give one, and it's neat to see what he has built in that country and the future that he's built there in South Korea.
Yeah, well, as you guys are learning, we have tournament bouts and then we have non-tournament bouts which kick off proceedings as well. And let's take a look back at what we opened with when we saw Tuko Tokos take on Zhang Mingyang, and it was explosive.
Well, this was a heck of a fight to kick off the card with, because these guys absolutely went off. They were trading right in the pocket, but Zhang Mingyang just kind of a step ahead and really sensed when he had Tuko Tokos hurt, and that right hand, my goodness. Tuko Tokos, I mean, already out before he hit the canvas, just a devastating knockout. And although tournament implications not necessarily on the line for Zhang Mingyang, certainly a lot of national pride, a fight you want to win when the eyes of the UFC are upon you. And I gotta believe that a win like this puts him on a very short list in terms of fighters that the UFC is looking at.
Yeah, and I would imagine that he's having trouble being matched back home in China now, and as you say, I think that's the point. These non-tournament bouts, they still mean something. We have the UFC matchmakers right here. They're on the UFC radar. If you eke out a decision, it's one thing. You put someone away, someone like Tuko Tokos, who trains at the famed Sanford MMA gym, someone that is known to the UFC, he's cornering fighters. That's a really big statement that he made tonight.
To take out that quality of an opponent, I think that really is the key talking point, because Tuko Tokos, again, training at Sanford MMA. You saw Brendan Allen in his corner, and for Zhang Mingyang to go out there, make a statement like that, I mean, people are paying attention. I guarantee the UFC matchmakers are back there taking some notes.
Yeah, I want to give some love to Choi Sunguk Choi. I'm still getting my head around these names, Laura. I mean, Ramasumpandi, he came to the dance, he was willing, he was able, but Choi was just too much.
Choi was too much. Man, Choi was here to fight. Kept on pointing at the canvas. Everything he threw was with bad intentions. Worked a lot on that inside leg kick, but when he had the opportunity to do damage with ground and pound, that is exactly what he did. Just beautiful work by Choi there to get the unanimous decision victory. I'm excited to see what he'll bring to the next phase of the tournament, John.
And then onto the bantamweights then, and a fight that I really enjoyed. I enjoyed researching him, Kazama, and Maimaiti as well. I mean, a real rugged veteran of the game, but Kazama, and that's what I was alluding to earlier, just not the kind of thing I'm used to seeing out of an approach of an MMA fighter, but it worked really well, and he's taken his jiu-jitsu judo game to another level.
It worked very well in this setting because he had a willing participant in Maimaiti. Maimaiti was looking to play that grappling game as well, and at the end of it, Toshiomi Kazama won the grappling exchanges. He did a beautiful job of sweeping when he needed to, getting into those dominant positions. They did land some damage on the feet, but it's these tricks of Kazama that are just really, really special to see. He's got such a creative submission game. But you're right, John. I will be interested to see if in future rounds of this tournament he incorporates a little bit more of an MMA approach, because the honest truth is that approach will not work with other styles of fighters. He's going to eat some shots in those clinch situations.
You literally just took away my question.
I'm so sorry.
Well, no, I think because it's a valid point, right? You see a lot of people, the leg lock game that we saw a little bit earlier as well from Kashimura, it gets shut. We don't see this very much at the UFC level because it gets shut down.
But when you have a willing opponent who's willing to play that grappling game, it works. But I think in future matchups, if you get a striker, it just isn't going to play out like that. So I'll be interested to see if they have some game plan changes there.
Well, Toshiomi Kazama goes forward in that, and we have a little bit of news. We are now going to be starting the next episode, episode 2 of Road to UFC in 30 minutes. So, 30-minute warning. It is 30 minutes earlier than we expected, which means you and I
roll right on through.
We have to go straight through.
I will not be changing my clothes.
You guys at home, get that kettle on, or whatever it is, your beverage of choice. And we will see you back here in 30 minutes, live from Singapore. It has been great so far. You want to follow this tournament all the way through. We'll be back in 30 minutes.
From the Singapore Indoor Stadium in Singapore,
I hit somebody. The boy you hit.
Ya lurus sebelah kanan ya. Thank you for watching. Oke guys, kita lanjut nanti di pertandingan berikutnya guys ya. Di pertandingan JK Saragi guys. Kita selesai dulu ya.